Hey guys, back at it again. It's Film Friday, trying to be vigilant and do this once a week, and we'll see what happens. This seat is done. Did the Velcro, did some touch up on the paint where I skinned it up, installed it. It's all done, all set. Got the other seat ready to go in there, except for that bar. You can see it's a little bit fatter. Is 1.25 inches. Needs to be 1.8 inches. Not going to change the bar. Frame's done, so I'm not going to change the bar. What I have to do is change the receiver for the two seat rails, because the seat gets mounted to that bar on said bar by these two. So what I'm going to have to do is get two pieces of pipe. This one will receive the seat rail, which is 1 inch. That's not going to change dimensions. The front one's the same as the back one. So the idea of this pipe, which is chrome moly 4130, it'll be 58 thousandths, and just cope it and notch it so it'll go around the other pipe, which will be right here for 1.25 inches. This one's for 1.8 inches. This is cast aluminum, mine will be steel. Cut it in half. Put some bushing stock on the sides to receive the hardware for clamping it together, which is right up there. There's the other cast piece, but that tube's too big, so that won't work. But that's what we're gonna do. Last week, the hardware was sitting up there on that can, upside down shelf, which is, we'll get back to these two pieces in a minute, which is installed on the seat. The harness is ready to go, except for this piece is dry and it's cleaned up, but I cleaned up the webbing today, gave it a bath. It gets pretty grody and dirty when you start cleaning up the zinc. Cleaned up the zinc once again with the fine Scotch-Brite and stainless steel brush. Works pretty good. So I need to mount that piece on this side right here, and then I'll come through here, and then it latches all together. 4-point harness. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it all latches together in the middle. Got this seat's finished, painted, ready to go. All the Velcro hook and loop is put on it. There's the glove box, talked about that last week. So that seat will mount right there. And then the glove box will be right there, which is right here. So it's a data box actually to keep data in, but just use it as a, trying to do this one-handed. Like that, like so. So it just goes up and goes down. Ooh, actually not looking at it, looking through the camera. Ooh, that's hard. So we got the bracketry, we got the hardware that mounts the brackets to the seat rail. Like I said, we gotta do something with these seat rails because the original stuff's not gonna work. There's a seat positive stop. We have the quadrant down here to release the belt, make it bigger make it longer for bigger people to stick it out further or retract it. Here's a positive stop to go up. Coming down, it's not gonna go no further than that. So that's it. That's in a good safe spot. Has some tooling out there ready to work on that. So back to these two pieces. Took a hammer and dolly to this one, the one that's partially primered. Let me back up just a little bit here. These two pieces mount, lower wing mounts are right there and right there. That's for the lower wing. This piece mounts right here like this. The two holes there have these two flying wires will come out and then go up to the upper wing. These two will come out. There's two more back here. I'll hold all this up together. There's two more back there, but they come through the leading edge of the lower wing. So this piece mounts here. Well, this side lost, and that's why that is convex, lost its leg. So the leg that I'm talking about would be that piece right there, which is landing gear. Now that's what failed on this thing, and that's why I'm going through all this. Anyway, when that happened, this collapsed and it wadded it up right there. And so I just took a hammer and dolly to it and beat it back into sort of kind of almost where it belonged. That piece has a lot going on to it. You see it's been English wheeled this way, it's broke over this way, it shrunk, actually had to shrink, they had to do some shrinking. It's stretched right here, it's got holes drilled in it, it's stretched right there. These holes are just for mounting. There's Zeus fasteners, there's a Zeus fastener. There's another piece back here with a flange on it. It's got a lot going on with that piece. So I want to try to save it if I can. There's holes in it right now that are drilled. Let me get up here close. They're drilled right at the bottom of where it's, the brakes are, right at the bottom of it. What that does is it relieves the tension. If you drill a hole up here and you still got more crack down there, it'll just keep going on and working its way like a crack in a windshield. If you put the hole at the bottom of the crack, it displaces its tendency to run on down. It's got nowhere to go. It's going to stop. Weld that up and that crack will stop. So, got to take this piece together. How do you make this piece get it back to its original shape when it's all crumpled up? Don't know. Now you're back. Now you get into a contour gauge or comb or whatever. This is a cool little tool right here. If you notice, see these, this outline right here, and in here. So if we put this right, like, ooh, let me get up here in the lap. Can't really see it for the light. So what I'm gonna do, so if I do that, and if you notice it's got that little peak in it, that tells me the contour of what that piece is. Let me get this down there sideways so you can see it. Isn't that cool? So it'll locate it, and there's that piece that'll locate it right in that hole. That'll tell me I can transfer this from left to right. So I've got the piece in my hand, and I have my finger covering the camera. So here's the other piece. I'll lay them side by side, but they're mirror images of each other. But how do you get this? How do you know where to put it at? And you really don't without this contour gauge. So once again, the leading edge, I've got shadows. Leading edge, drop it in the screw hole, come up with it, and put it in the same spot, and there you go. Now you got your contour. So it's pretty close. It's not bad. Right there. It's not bad at all. So I got to quit beating on this thing. I've got it beat into submission and sort of kind of where it belongs. Now I just have to weld up these cracks. So I'm going to do some fusion tacking with the TIG. This is aluminum. You can see how much I was wearing on it. And once again, we're getting into, that is a convex, so that metal's stretched right there. And all this was just mangled. Anyway, almost got it back to normal. Get it tigged up, ground down. Don't want to grind up too much, make it too thin, and then get some Bondo on it, and it should be good to go. And then we'll get some primer out, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully next week, take a little shot of that and see what's going on there. We're getting into about 8.5 minutes. This is my 7th try today. Not really sure. I had technical issues, need to make some more storage space. So seat's almost done. These panels behind me on the floor, about done. Get this thing on the rotisserie. This thing on the rotisserie so I can rotate it around. Pull off. That's the bottom one right there. The first one is the bottom one, and it's got some manglage going on to it. You can see it, right there. It bent. That's where that wing collapsed, and it bent stuff on it, so it wasn't happy. Get all that repaired and keep trucking on. So in 9.5 minutes, I'm gonna cut this off. Got some other stuff going on, but I'm out of time. So yesterday was Thanksgiving, so happy belated Thanksgiving, and hope everything's going well for everybody. We have a lot to be thankful for. So later, bye.